I mean, do we just say, hi, this is our Dawson's Creek broadcast?
This is Whose Creek Is It?
The podcast where two sisters recap and pontificate about the show Dawson's Creek.
I'm Miranda, and I've seen the whole series at least 5 times.
And I'm Allison, and I'm watching this show for the very first time. Let's get started. The backstory to this is that, Miranda, this is one of your comfort shows, right?
Yes, I've been watching it since 2012, and I watch it like every year or two, so I've seen it, the whole series, at least like 5 times.
I didn't know it was as far back as 2012, but so that was Miranda, and I'm Allison, and we're sisters. And I have never watched, I think I have watched like maybe an episode and a half, but like I never really got into Dawson's Creek. But I'm gonna.
I guess we should start off by saying this show came out in 1998, so it was kind of before your time and mine. How old were you in 1998?
8.
Yeah, I was like 4.
Yeah, so this was like a teenage and high school experience that was like the generation, but like the micro generation before us. This is like the teenage experience of like no one has a cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Should be interesting because it wasn't really geared towards either of us at the time, but now we can relate to it and also not relate because it was made in the 90s and things are very different now.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. I think I even had a note just like, wow, everyone's so happy. It's so 90s.
I don't know. Do we need any more background of our experience or should we just dive into the episode?
Yeah, we can dive in. Did you want to, I see on the topics, did you have like a release date or any writer credits?
So once again, this show came out, premiered January 20th, 1998. It's the pilot episode, season 1, episode 1. It also had a alternative name called Emotions in Motion. We'll see how that relates. And the director was Steve Miner, and the writer was Kevin Williamson, who was the creator of the show.
I have definitely heard the name Kevin Williamson before.
Yeah, he wrote like Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer too, I think. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm much more familiar with like late 90s, turn of the century's like horror teen scream. That is a genre I love. Mm-hmm. So just I guess first reactions. You're a seasoned fan. You've seen this many times, but how do you feel about this episode?
I like it. I mean, it's just getting into all the stuff, it's like explaining this is who this person is and, these are the people you need to know. And I think like the acting in this first episode is a little exaggerated and, they're just trying to make it clear who is who and how people feel about each other. And I think the acting gets a little more nuanced as it goes on. But it very much has like pilot vibes to me of like, we need to explain everything clearly.
Yeah, it's very much a pilot episode, and typically those aren't like the most riveting because you have so much legwork to do in the pilot. Mm-hmm. You set up the characters, you set up their relationships to each other, you set up the tone of the show. So it definitely felt like a pilot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I liked or disliked it. I could see its purpose. This is the pilot and it's trying to accomplish all the things you need to do there. And I feel like they left enough sort of
intrigue.
Intrigue. Enough plot points hanging to get people to come back for that second episode.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of like any big themes in this episode. I think the title Emotions in Motion kind of covers it. Like it's like these teenagers who are entering early adulthood, sort of. I mean, they're still teenagers, but their friendships are changing, their relationships with each other are changing, and they don't really want things to change, but it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that sort of like leads us right into the first scene. Because that's when so it opens in Dawson's bedroom, right?
Yeah, so we open to Dawson and Joey watching E.T. in Dawson's bedroom on his bed. You know, Joey gets up once the movie's over and she's trying to like get out of his room, crawl out the window, which becomes a reoccurring thing. It's just kind of weird. Like
Yeah, wait, what was it with second floor windows as an entrance in the 90s? Because we had this. We had in the movie Scream, her boyfriend keeps coming in through the second story window. We had, wasn't it? Oh, Clarissa Explains It All. There's a character who only comes in through the window. In the 90s, we loved a window entrance.
I guess like the teenagers were just trying to avoid the parents at all costs. Like they just didn't want to have to write lines for the parents and have them be involved. They just wanted the kids to just be able to go up and start talking to each other without any interruption, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Because that reminds me of how I've seen like memes or like social media videos of people saying, you know how we called each other in the 90s? We rang the home telephone and you just started talking to whoever picked it up. There was no like, you just had to talk to who knows who.
Yeah, I do not miss that anxiety of like calling my friend's house and like their parents pick up and I'm like, hey, you don't know me, but I want to talk to your kid.
Yeah. That first scene where they're, Joey's trying to leave and she's kind of breaking it down to Dawson is like, no, we're teenagers now and I can't just sleep over in your bed. And it sort of sets up that history of them like being really, really close as little kids. And she's calling it out. But as the episode goes on and I see sort of how the emotions are evolving, I'm like, girl, it's just like she's just like, well, I have these feelings and I need to shut them down.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need to ignore all the feelings I've had for this boy my entire life because I'm not ready to deal with it and I'm too insecure to talk about it. So.
Yeah. And oh man, his I love Stephen Spielberg. Stephen Spielberg is Dawson's whole personality in the pilot.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like Spielberg isn't really the person today, but it's like I knew guys in college who that was their personality, but Joss Whedon, who did like Buffy and a bunch of other famous shows. And yeah, I just remember a guy who everything came back to Joss Whedon, and and in both cases it's someone very like very popular. Like you're not digging in the trenches here. This is like the third person when you Google movies. Mm-hmm. You're not going indie.
Well, also like as a teenager, I think you're just so desperate to like find the thing that makes you different from everyone else and like have some specific personality that makes you feel different and special. And you're not usually digging that far down to find something really niche.
Yeah. This is a bit of a backtrack, but when they did the opening credits, because I assume they just, this is a problem across so many TV shows. I didn't get to hear, I don't want to wait for life to be over. It was some other song.
Yeah, it's Run Like Mad. And I was going to get into the intro too. I hate that song. I every time I watch the episodes, I like skip the intro because I can't listen to that song every time I watch an episode. I think some people like it, but yeah, it was like too much. It is sad because like the original intro was the I Don't Want to Wait song. Yeah. And then because of sync licensing or some kind of licensing that they weren't thinking about streaming services in the 90s, so.
Yeah, no, that was not as so many things have unfolded in our lifetime, we could not even begin to imagine the problems we would face.
Yeah, sync licensing just being like such a small one.
Yeah,
comparatively.
Yeah. I also thought like we had kind of made a decision about Nazis, but Oh God.
So I'm going to back up a little bit.
Yeah,
Back
go
to
for
the
it.
scene in their bedroom, or in Dawson's bedroom, where he's like, "Come on, Joey, like, why can't you sleep over now? Like, what's the problem? What's the big deal?" And first of all, Dawson has 5 o'clock shadow in that. Like, they're talking about how they're 15, and I'm like, he is definitely shaving. Like, I can see stubble growing under his skin. Like, which I just wanted to get into like the ages of like some of the actors. So James
Yeah.
Vanderbeek was 20, I believe, when this was filmed.
Okay.
Um, and Joey, who's played by Katie Holmes, was 18. At least there's not too much of a creepy age difference there or anything, but it is like they're
Yeah.
pretending to be younger than they are. I don't know. I just find it funny at moments throughout the series where like they're supposed to be teenagers. I'm like, that is a man.
Yeah, also James Vanderbeek just has man face. Like some
He
kids
does.
never have a child's face.
That is very true. In that scene, Joey's saying like, "Oh, I can't stay. Like, we have genitalia now," which is such a weird way. Like they phrase things so weirdly in this
Yeah.
show, but it's
These are
kind of,
smart kids.
yeah. They know big words. He's like, "I've always had genitalia." And she's like, "Well, there's more of it." And he was like, "Well, how would you know?" And she says, "Long fingers."
Oh my god, yeah. What the Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's funny. And that's a callback later in the
Yeah.
episode. But I was just like, they're trying to be risque, but like, and it's funny because the show was considered to be like really bad and like moms were against the show and all this stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I had not really known about that. Like, it makes sense because you did tell me previously that they, like, go into a lot of big capital I issues, but I had not been really aware of the backlash.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting what seemed so like controversial at the time. And this show now is such like a like warm your heart, everything's so simple. Like these kids are so innocent and like chill and like it's nothing like the teenage shows of today. Like
Well, yeah, and that's a thing that just goes in and out of style with culture. Things get we're probably now that the world is what it is and America is what it is. I'm wondering if we're like Kesha just put out a new like banger pop song about washing a car at a trailer park. It slaps. Don't worry.
okay, I'll have to hear it.
She partners with T-Pain. It's great. But I'm wondering if we're gonna get a resurgence of really like happy media.
Yeah. Just like let's live in our delusion. Let's just like escape.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you're right that it is like it does seem very happy-go-lucky.
mhm. All right, so we should probably try to keep moving forward. We've gotten through one scene.
Killing it.
So I think the next scene was like we meet Pacey working with Dawson and Joey on filming Dawson's, I think it was called Creatures of the Deep or some kind of like horror movie involving a swamp monster kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that's like our first clue into seeing like Dawson is actually making movies. He's not just like a fan, but he's actually trying to become a filmmaker.
Mhm.
And I will note Pacey, who's played by Joshua Jackson, I believe was also 18 when they were filming this. And then while they're filming, a cab pulls up in the house next door, and a beautiful, pretty girl gets out, all slow-mo, and they have
Yeah.
that weird song that I think was dubbed like after, because I'm like, there's no way this was the song that they were using in the original, but it was like, "Hey, pretty girl, you pretty girl, hey, pretty girl."
And there's one point at which, because it's like a front button dress, there was one at one point where like the crease in it, like
Yeah.
it is almost giving us underwear. It's
Yes. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was just like, she's innocent, but also her dress is showing her crotch. Like,
yeah. And then we find out she's from New York.
Yes.
She's an
so from
experienced
New York.
lady.
Yeah. Like, they keep alluding throughout the episode and in future episodes, like, oh, she has a past. What is her past? Like,
She lived in Rochester. Yeah, they do, but yeah, they do imply that something went down in New York.
mm-hmm. So while Pacey and Dawson are, like, just oogling at Jen, Joey is like, okay, I'm here too. Like,
Yeah. And that foreshadows how she goes on to manage Jen's entrance into the friend group.
yeah. Which I don't think I had experience like that. Like, I never was like in love with a friend of mine and then a girl came along as a teenager, at least. Like, I don't remember that ever happening to me, but I find Joey's reaction to everything like immature but totally understandable.
Yeah, especially since she has not a like, her sister's doing I assume her sister's doing her best, but her home life is not simple.
Yeah.
But I do actually, not as a teenager, but like a few years ago, I remember I was working with a guy who we will not add details, any more details, but there was a guy I was working with, and I had the biggest crush on him. Like, it was so dumb. And we were working...
Oh, I remember this guy.
Yeah,
we will not speak of it.
That's how you know, because I says it's dumb. Yeah. But we were working together, and there was one other woman working with us, and I remember on one day, I don't know if I was just stressed or we were really busy, and I had a moment where, like, I was being mean, and I realized I was being mean because I thought he liked her more than me. And, like, I am standing there in my workplace, like, you are a grown woman. You are a grown woman. You are a grown woman. And sometimes you just have to, like, pull yourself into a corner and just be like, we're not doing this.
Yeah. You don't always grow out of the big feelings, but you have to like check yourself more as you get older.
Yeah.
After that scene, Dawson and Pacey run into Dawson's house, and they hear a crash. They go running through, and they find Mitch and Gail, which are Dawson's parents, making out. More than like making out, like starting to take each other's clothes off on the coffee table. Thank God we never had that experience growing up with our parents. Like,
yeah, it was, and I'm curious because I have never gone like deep into the show. I mean, I know more to come on their relationship, but I was like, is this going to be their thing? Like, the comedic thing is that whenever they go into Dawson's house, his parents are hooking up.
I think that would be a good way to like get some more humor in the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think it's just a way to establish like his parents seem very happy and they're really into each other, and oh, look at this happy family.
Yeah.
And then I think the very next thing we see is Joey coming home to her house, where we briefly meet Bodhi and Bessie. Bessie being Joey's older sister, which I'm not really sure what the age difference is there. Joey's supposed to be 15. I think Bessie's probably in her like early to mid 20s. Yeah.
And what's the guy's name? Bodhi?
Bodhi. Yeah, he's the quote unquote black boyfriend.
Yeah, they say that multiple times.
Yeah, we can get to that about how weird that is, and like, I mean, yeah, I guess that was maybe controversial at the time, but also like you're making it weird.
Yeah, those things where you're like, that this is controversial to some people, and in trying to get out in front of it, you're just making it into a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But the thing that struck me about that scene is Bodhi coming out and, like, I don't know if it's like marinara sauce or whatever, and he gives Joey a taste, and this 15-year-old talking to her sister's boyfriend is like orgasmic.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add on that. It's just strange.
Yeah. Also, everyone, her sister, every woman in a dress in this show looks like they're wearing just a slip or a nightgown. Is that what I guess was the style?
Yeah, I think it was partially the style, and then while I think this show did a pretty good job at respecting women for the time, like I think especially in this episode, they really want to like make these girls sought after, like attractive,
desirable.
To try to get the teenage boys to watch the show.
Yeah, that's another thing, is you're establishing who your audience is, and if you want to pull in boy viewers, you, I don't know, have to run around with a big banner that says, look at these girls.
Yeah. Next, we see where Pacey and Dawson work. They work at like basically a mom and pop Blockbuster. Such a simpler time. I miss Blockbuster.
Oh.
I don't know. Like that scene's kind of like there's that girl named Nellie. She's a douche. Like I don't know. There's not a whole lot there. She's just mean to Dawson and Pacey and belittles Pacey, which, you know, they get more into Pacey kind of being a black sheep or being a class clown and that kind of stuff. So I think they're just trying to start establishing that.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, I did want to say, in this scene, Pacey's haircut is terrible. He's got the Caesar's haircut with like, and it's like a bowl cut bang. It's so...
Why did we do that in the 90s? George Clooney had it too. It's like... It looks like when a girl is going through it and like screws up her bangs and then has to go somewhere and get it like touched up to look somewhat I thought about that hair too.
Yeah. I was just like, it stopped me in the scene. I was just like, oh my God, this haircut. But like, you know, at the time that was seen as attractive, and I'm sure like these kids had to have the right kind of hair, had to look the right kind of way for the time. So, but
yeah, that is wild that someone has to be a stylist to like an adult person has to function as a stylist on set to teens, and it is their job to know what teens are wearing now and what they're going to be wearing like a year from now.
Mm-hmm. And like basically, how can we make like underage girls attracted to this kid? Like it's just a little weird.
Yeah, there's this, I mean, that is that's a fascinating thing in culture, just the unspoken appeal to like the desire of teen girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole can of worms we don't have to get into today.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come up again and again in the show. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. So also at their Blockbuster, I don't think they ever name what this store is, but it's just a Blockbuster. So we meet Tamara, who is very much a grown woman who walks in, also in like a slip kind of dress, showing everything. And we can see right away by Pacey's face that he's quite taken with this woman. You know, he's doing his job, asking her how he can help, and she's like, oh, I'm looking for The Graduate, which is like this movie about an older woman who like seduces a younger man. And
they're laying it on thick. They're like, if the audience is teens, maybe they'll know The Graduate.
Yeah, there's so many like references to movies and shows in this show that like a lot of it goes over my head. I mean, not this one, but like I think rewatching it with this finer lens this time around, mm-hmm. I'm really gonna like get more into like all the references. There's just so many references.
Mm-hmm.
But question for you: is Tamara flirting in this scene, or is she just being normal?
It's hard to. I'm trying to think back to that scene. I think she's aware that Pacey is wanting to flirt with her, and I think she's leaning into that a little bit, but I think that what is most likely is that she is like metacognition watching this go down and like seeing this boy try to hit on her and like, yeah, I'll play along with this for a minute.
Yeah.
Which overall would be fine if she didn't already know she was going to be a teacher at the high school. Because I'm pretty sure you knew what your job was going to be the day before your job started.
Yeah, and this is a small town. Like, this kid is gonna go to your school.
Yeah, so not criminal, but maybe just not a smart move.
I agree. Like, I think she's aware of the situation, but she's not shutting it down. She's
Yeah.
just kind of like, I'll play along,
Yeah.
which I get that. You like, as a
Yeah.
woman, I don't want to make a man feel stupid for flirting with me, but also that's societal pressure.
Yeah, yeah. And then he brings that, like, we'll get to it, but then when they kind of like when they're out on the dock or the whatever it is, the wooden when they walk the plank over the water, um, he kind of throws that back at her and like is telling her what he thinks that was.
Yeah, I like that too. We'll get into that. So I think the next part is Dawson sees Jen sitting on a dock and like goes and joins her, and it that scene starts with like this wide shot of like this the creek and the dock at sunset and how beautiful it is, and like I think a big character in this show is like the actual location, which is quote
Mm.
unquote Cape Side, Massachusetts, but it was actually filmed in North Carolina. Uh,
Oh.
and I don't know, I just throughout the series, that's something I noticed. Like I think it's similar to Gilmore Girls and like,
Yeah.
oh, it's this small town with this square and like I don't know. It's just like this once again what we were talking about this like escapism, everything's fun and happy and small town good living.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're definitely right that the setting is a character, and especially when you're like sort of using those kind of wide shots. And it doesn't terribly surprise me that they did this in South Carolina because I know they do have a lot of like waterside real estate there. But
Mhm.
when I was looking at, I forget when they're like walking through town or something, it did give like sort of seaside Massachusetts vibes, and I was thinking about how like it's big like Kennedy vibes. Like we live on the water, and like we wear old flannels, but like we're very comfortable.
Yeah. Dawson and Jen are sitting on on the dock, and he's holding these movies, I guess, research for his movie that he's making. And Jen says, "Why movies? What's the attraction?" And he says, "I reject reality." Like, and I'm just like, sounds not good. Uh,
Yeah, sounds like a dangerous thing for a privileged white boy.
the next thing he says is like, "Would you like to see my studio?" Which is like his bedroom.
Yeah.
And like they really take time to show like his whole room and all the props and like Spielberg memorabilia. And I'm like, guy, this is not what she wants to see. Like this is not going to impress her. This is
Yeah, I mean, it also just makes me think that like in TV shows and movies in the like 90s and early 2000s, every kid's bedroom was so cool.
yeah.
It
Like
was
just
full
their
of all kinds of
parents
stuff.
unlimited money. Their parents were like, "Yeah, we'll just get you everything you ever want." Like,
Yeah. But
yeah.
somehow it's like put together.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was I have been in those situations where a guy is showing you a thing that you do not care about and you're just like, "Oh, okay, I got to just let you do this."
Yeah. Just more proof of Dawson's obsession with Spielberg and really making that his whole personality. Uh,
Yeah.
and then while they're talking in Dawson's bedroom, Joey is climbing up the ladder to go into his bedroom, and then it's just kind of like hanging out, eavesdropping.
Mhm.
What's next? Jen leaves. Joey comes
Oh
in through
yeah.
the window.
Mhm.
Dawson's watching his mom on television. She's a news anchor,
Ooh
local
yeah.
news,
Yeah.
and says something about like I think she's sleeping with her co-anchor. Just the way she's like sit talking to him on screen, it just something seems off. And Joey says he's just looking for conflict, and
Yeah.
as a viewer, we're like, why is this coming up? I think there might be some conflict coming up.
Well, my question is, when he said that, he didn't sound upset. He sounded as if he was
Yeah.
like reviewing like a film and trying to see where the film was going.
Hmm.
So that was what was interesting to me, is like, how serious is he about this?
It's a great point, like that he seems to be kind of viewing his life as if it's a movie and not like he's a part of it and it affects him. So there's
Yeah.
some disassociation there. We
Then,
cut to Jen sitting with her grandfather,
oh
uh,
yeah.
who's, I don't understand what the grandfather's deal is. He's like, seems to be in a coma, but he's not in a
Generically,
hospital.
yeah,
Like,
generically unwell.
he has a scar on his chest and is not awake. I don't know.
Yeah, it's HIPAA. They have to be HIPAA compliant. They can't tell us what's actually wrong. But that does bring me back to like, why did she come down? We know that part of it is like whatever happened in New York, which
Mhm.
that sounds like a Taylor Swift song. And but also the sort of spoken reason is to help take care of Grandpa. And I'm like, who sends their 15-year-old away to take care of their ailing grandparent?
They could have at least like had him be like in a wheelchair needing actual assistance. I'm like, how's she gonna help him? He's just laying there. I don't I don't know.
Yeah. But and then the grandmother like walks in to her like visiting her grandfather, right?
Yeah, or they're at the kitchen table, I think.
Yeah, they end up at the kitchen table.
Yeah, and Jen starts asking her grandmother about Dawson. Her grandmother, we get to see more of what she's like and what her worldview is, and she's like, "Oh, that boy is trouble." And I love how Jen responds. She says, "Aren't they all?" I don't know. That's the moment where when I first like watched this episode, I was like, "Oh, she's cool. Like she's wise. She's, like I don't know.
Yeah, she
It
is not
was
taken in by Dawson's whole act.
I don't know. It was a moment of like, oh, this character is like the cool one. Like she knows what's up. Uh
Yeah.
Her grandmother comments about Joey always climbing into Dawson's room and that neither of them go to church. Uh
Yeah.
she wants Jen to say grace for breakfast. Uh
Which, like, maybe that's a thing in some families. It was not in ours.
yeah. And Jen's like, yeah, sorry, I'm an atheist.
Which, like, kudos to her. She's like, I'm not gonna. I'll just be straight with you because this is gonna come up over and over.
Mhm. Yeah, so she just lays it out there. We see like kind of the dropping of her grandmother's face, and it cuts to the song Tub Thumping by Chumbawambas,
I remember that.
which is like so of its time. I get knocked down, but I get up
Knock it up again.
And we see Nellie talking to Jen at the lockers, and Jen is basically asked if she parties, and she's like, "No, I'm straight edge." Like,
In 1998 speak.
yeah,
I like to have a good time.
just kind of another scene that kind of hints that maybe Jen's had a past. Dawson comes up and Jen's like, "Yeah, I could use a cigarette right now."
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, I think the conversation of "Do you party?" it kind of foreshadows that like she has a past.
Mhm. We also cut to Pacey, like in a classroom with a book, balancing a book on his head, like basically saying he's the class clown. And
Yeah.
Tamara, or otherwise known as Miss Jacobs, walks in, and it's like, oh shit. Like, this is going to progress somehow.
Yeah, yeah, something will happen here.
And then Dawson goes and talks to the film teacher, trying to get into the film class.
Yeah.
That kind of also like an entitlement of like, oh, I deserve to be here. Like I'm so much more into this than everybody else, so I
Yeah.
should be able to be in this class. Which, sure.
Yeah, it was really frustrating because, I mean, on the one hand, I say, okay, to anybody listening, I got a degree in creative writing and literature, so I had a lot of classes that were like 20 people. It is very difficult to get in those classes, so, and you need those classes to graduate. So there would be situations where, like, I'd be in a class with someone who's like an engineering major, which, like, that's great, enjoy your money. But they're like, you know, writing a terrible poem about a butterfly, whereas I know 3 people who couldn't get into the class who need it for their major. But that's college and much more expensive, and you're 15. And I think the teacher took it really well. I think he handled that very well. He like didn't get emotional and shut Dawson down and tell him what a jerk he is. He was just like, my answer is no.
Mm-hmm. And Dawson handles it pretty well. So
he has to be told no multiple times. And I don't get the sense that it's over. I don't get the sense that this film class is gonna not come up again this season.
See, Jen asks Joey in class if her and Dawson are a thing, and Joey's just like, oh, we're just friends. And Jen says, well, I hope we'll be friends too. And I feel so bad for Jen because, like, she sees what's going on and she just wants to be friends with like, she just wants to have a good relationship with everybody. But no matter what she does, she's gonna look like the bad guy. Like,
yeah, that was, it was actually really, like, nicely subtle the way that they wrote her character in this episode, where she's like, I hope we can be friends too, where there's like an awareness that she's already getting some pushback from Joey, but she's not like confronting her and having a big conversation. So I thought that character was well written in this episode.
Yeah. So this is where Joey clues us all in on her, like, her family life. So she says that her dad's in prison for, like, trafficking marijuana.
Gasp.
Which is, I know, like, they were like, we gotta pick, like, a really tame drug so he doesn't seem like a terrible, like, person.
Yeah.
He's not tracking fentanyl or...
Yeah. We're not talking heroin here.
And she says that her sister is pregnant by her black boyfriend and, like, you know, out of wedlock, and oh my gosh, you know. And then she also, like, subtly, without trying to show how, like, devastated she is, she says that her mother died of cancer. So she's been through it.
Yeah, and that, like, brought it together. I'm not sure if it really comes out at the end, but you can see how frustrating it would be to be Joey in this situation where she has this friend Dawson who just has everything and doesn't really have any worries. All he's thinking about is what he wants to do and what he can achieve. And she just has so many more obstacles. Mm-hmm. But she's his best friend and he's hers, and
yeah,
that's a tough place to be when you, like, really love someone or, like, love them in a friendship way, but, like, you still have that frustration of, like, God, that your life seems so much easier than mine.
Yeah, like, I've definitely had that with friendships where, I mean, I'm sure both ways, where, like, I've been the one frustrated in a friendship and I love the person, but they're so much more privileged than I am. Yeah. Or I know, like, they love me, but they have a harder time because I'm more privileged than them, you know? And like, that frustration of, like, you're my friend, but at the same time, I'm dealing with my own resentments that you don't really have control over.
Yeah. And and I think the best people can do is try to be conscious of it. And I feel like most of my friends are really good about, like, acknowledging if they're talking about something good in their life, they're pretty cognizant of, like, acknowledging, like, the reason I have this is this. And, like, that's kind. And I can also see that also, it takes effort. And I don't know, sometimes people in relationships take effort. So, but, you know, sometimes you don't have all the patience, or you don't have the energy, and you don't want to put in the effort.
Yeah. And especially not at not at 15. Like,
Yeah, not at
this
15.
is not the kind of stuff, like...
Dawson doesn't seem like to even register that Joey has problems.
So, you know, as Joey's telling us about her past, she also says, you know, he likes you. Like, you know, Dawson likes you. And she says, don't abuse his feelings, which is okay, girl.
It was a little dramatic.
Yeah, but I mean, she is looking out for her friend, or
Yeah.
even though it's misguided, I think.
Yeah. She's looking out for her friend, and there's also, you know, when you just met someone, you kind of... I get close to people over time, and it's because I see the way they treat everyone around us, and, like, you don't have that context with Jen. She just got here, so she has no idea how... Joey has no idea how Jen might handle a romantic relationship, so... And she resents and is jealous of her.
Yeah. Jen and Dawson and Joey are in the cafeteria next, and Jen and Dawson are just having this witty banter. They're basically talking trash about people at the school, and it's one of those moments where, like, they cut to Joey's face and she just has this, like, I'm in hell face, you know, and it's like the exaggerated acting of, like, once again, pilot episodes, I feel like they're pandering to, like, the lowest common denominator of people who, like, really need the obvious acting symbols.
Yeah,
it does offer, like, a humorous moment. Just her face. Like, I chuckle every time I see her just make that face of, like, oh my god, I hate these two together.
Yeah, and, like, on the one hand, it is, like, indicative that they sort of vibe, that they're able to have that banter. Like, having great banter with someone is a huge plus as a friend or a romantic relationship, but when you're, like, the third person watching the two people banter, that is not fun.
Yeah, definitely not. I've never enjoyed being the third wheel with two other wheels that are very into each other.
Yeah, you're just like, I feel very squeaky and rusty. And I'm gonna just roll over here.
Then there's, like, another scene with Tamara and Pacey. And that scene was when I was like, okay, this woman is flirting with this teenage boy. Like, it's
Yeah, I think that was the point at which she really needed to shut it down.
Yeah, and she just kept toying with him.
Yeah, although I do not blame her for, like, saying I do not think saying she was going to a movie was an invitation in any way.
No. That is a teenage boy crossing a line.
Yeah. Oh, this thing that you said is definitely about me.
Right after that, Pacey goes to Dawson, tries to convince him to go to the movies, to basically stalk Tamara, and says something indicating, like, he thinks he's gonna get laid from this teacher. It's like, oh my god, dude.
Baby.
Dawson says, walk your dog, which was their way of saying, go masturbate.
Yeah. I was like, it does... And at first I was like, is that... Oh, no, that's what that means.
Which, some fun trivia is apparently they originally it was written to allude more clearly to, like, this kid just needs to jerk off or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess it was, like, the WB, which was the channel this was on, was like, you can't say masturbate, you have to say something less obvious or something. So that was, like, apparently a note that was given, and I feel like it just is more distracting.
But it's memorable, which is something you want from a pilot.
Right. Yeah. So then Dawson sees Jen talking to some quarterback guy, and starts to feel a little bit of jealousy. And this is when he convinces her to, like, go to the movies with them. But he says something about the quarterback, which is problematic. He says, like, quarterback by day, schizophrenic transvestite by night.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That was...
Some, like, weird homophobic. I don't know. Like, what?
Yeah, it's just like he just tried to think of like the longest words he could think of
Yeah.
that could be construed as negative.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just like a weird, like,
It was the 90s.
yeah. Like, it wasn't, a lot worse things could be said, but it was also like, I don't think that was necessary.
Yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, people still talk like that, but that was just like, yeah, it was another, to your point, it was another moment where like they're just going full steam ahead.
Yeah. So after that, Dawson quickly has like a scene with Joey to like convince her to join this movie night, and she's just like, fine.
Yeah, please come chaperone my date with the person you loathe.
Next, I think we're back at Graham's house. Graham's being short for grandmother, Jen's grandmother,
Yeah.
talking to Jen about trying to make her go to church, and she alludes that she knew what happened in New York. And at this point, we're like, Jesus Christ, what happened in New York? Like,
Yeah, can I make it, as someone who has not watched the series, can I make a prediction?
sure.
I think, okay, we've implied partying, and I'm gonna go with she was probably just drunk, partying, and she was sexually assaulted, but because it's 1998, we are making that kind of her fault. Don't tell me,
Dark.
we'll get there, I'm sure.
That's a dark take, but I mean, it could track.
Okay, well, we'll find out, man.
Yeah. Her grandmother was like, church will do you good. And then Jen says, I'll go to church when you say the word penis.
These teens are exhausting.
I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, you gotta have fun with people. But
Next is Dawson talking to his dad. His dad has like a weird diorama of like a aquatic
Yeah.
theme restaurant.
Oh yeah, he was like, Dad, this like something restaurant idea. It was like, is Dad just like unemployed and has harebrained schemes?
Yeah, it's not clear to me where Dawson's family's money comes from. Like, I guess maybe being the mom is definitely the breadwinner. She's like an anchor on a local news show. I don't know how much that pays, but but yeah, I'm like, I think there's some generational wealth here that is affording them this house on the creek.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, Dawson has this, like, I don't want to say it's a monologue, but he's like just frustrated. He's like, everyone's focused on sex, and it stems from like his dad is watching his mom on the news and says it's great foreplay, which I'm like, don't talk to your kid about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dawson's just like, I don't know why everyone's focused on sex, and da-da-da, and I'm like, dude, you're very focused on sex. Like,
Yeah. Although, you know, that's to me, that was just like him letting off his own anxiety about this date and this new love interest, and then probably planted in his mind by Joey bringing it up at the very first scene. But it is so funny when people just get so defensive about things and they just externalize all this stuff that's really about them.
yeah, absolutely. So before they head off to this movie, Joey is leaving her house, and Bessie, her sister, has this really sweet moment where, like, she's like, you're 15, I'm gonna put some lipstick on you now, like.
Yeah. Well, then she's like, and so every like 30 minutes to an hour, go reapply? And I was like, is that how lipstick works? Maybe they didn't have like setting powder then. Also, but then I was like, is she assuming that Joey, is that to create mystery? Like, like if you go away, they'll miss you. I don't know. We're both incredibly successful at both makeup and love.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you never did this for me. You never put lipstick on my face, and
yeah, because my baby daddy never came around.
Anyway,
No,
yeah, I
I'm
really
sorry. I wish I had put I wish I had put lipstick on you.
no, I probably would have like that would have ended up with one of us punching the other, like, don't touch my face.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I don't know. It's a scene that like I just kind of I really like her relationship with her sister and like I don't know, it's a sweet moment. I like Bessie.
Yeah,
She's
it
yeah.
was a moment of softness that Joey really needed.
Yeah, yeah, because she's so like guarded, and her sister's like, okay, cut the crap with me. Like,
Yeah.
uh, they all are walking to the movie theater next, and Jen's trying to make nice with Joey. Joey is not going with it. She's not trying to be nice.
Yeah, like I've been in plenty of situations where I am not having a good time and I just contribute minimally to the conversation just to get through the moment, but Joey is not she's not playing nice.
Yeah, yeah. She just straight up asks Jen if she's a virgin. Which like I remember that as a teenager, people would just like bluntly ask that, and it's just like, why are we talking about this? Like, what? It's just such an
Yeah.
obsessive thing. Um, and I hope it's less now with teenagers, but who knows? Maybe it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for Joey, but yeah, she's really not handling it well. Uh,
Yeah, I think it was okay. I'm looking at my notes and I have two notes on this sort of section, basically from when he's talking to his dad through the end of the movie. And the number one is just enormous sweater. His sweater was so Dawson's sweater is so big. And then on the Joey and Jen fight, it's just that escalated quickly. Oh
yes.
wait, no, that was on other stuff that happened in the movies. But we'll get there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it escalated very quickly even before the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to say, and also this happened, I think, in earlier scenes where, but they're outside the movie theater and like, if the camera's like zooming out and Joey like shrugs and you see a huge mic pack on the back of her jacket. And like, there's multiple times throughout the series, like you'll see boom mics just accidentally drop into frame and stuff, and because they couldn't CGI it out at this time, so it's just like, well,
Yeah.
that's there. Like,
That's there.
so I don't know. That's always like a fun thing when I'm watching the show is trying to look for like boom mics or like mic packs and stuff. um, so let's see. So they get into the movie and there's that awkwardness where like Dawson and Jen are sitting next to each other and like Dawson's like trying to hold her hand, like he's like rubbing his hand on his pants to like get the sweat off of his hand and like
Yeah.
and the whole time Joey's just like side-eyeing like, oh my god, like I can't watch this. Like he finally does grab Jen's hand and then I think Joey says something like, so are you a size queen, Jen? Or
Oh my god, yeah. Which I don't even I'm surprised that that was a term in 1998.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it was.
I guess so. Are you a size queen, Jen?
And Dawson freaks out and like grabs Joey and pulls her out of the theater. And Joey like turns back and is like, "Did you notice the long fingers?" Like,
Yeah.
great callback.
Yeah. Joey's going out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, so while all that's happening, Pacey's on his own storyline where he sees Tamara over across the theater. So he goes and sits down next to her and becomes even more like straightforward about like, oh, I know you're flirting with me and I know like you wanted me to be here. And like she freaks out. She's like, oh shit, like this has gone too far. Is trying to get him to leave. He gets up, spills popcorn on a guy, gets punched in the face.
Well, because the guy was her date, right?
Oh, I think it was like there was one guy that was Tamara's date, I think, and then he gets up and spills popcorn on a guy behind him, some just random buff guy who punches him, which I'm like, I don't know if spilling popcorn is like maybe if you got a drink spilled on you, punch a person. But like,
Yeah, it was more, yeah, I could see sort of if you can feel the vibes escalating and then someone bumps into you, you're already heightened. But like, yeah, don't punch a child.
yeah, I know. There's no like follow up of like a cop or nothing. No one reports this. He just leaves, I guess, with a black eye, and
Yeah.
no one.
Small town.
Yeah. So yeah, Dawson and Joey have it out. I don't know. Joey's just so clearly jealous of Jen.
Yeah.
And it also becomes like you already brought this up, but like she also just lays it all out that she's also jealous of Dawson and his life. Then I think later Jen and Dawson are like outside of the theater, and she doesn't kiss Dawson even though he wants to, and she's just like, no, I just moved here, and like I can already tell there's a lot going on, and I don't need to jump into this right now, you know?
Yeah, she was like, this is nice, but it can be just this for now.
Yeah.
Which, like, again, what wisdom?
I mean, it's a lot for a 15-year-old girl, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel for Jen. She just wants everyone to like her, and she once again mentions New York was not good for her, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, can we stop talking about New York?
Yeah.
The next scene is when Pacey is walking the docks with a black eye at
immediately.
Night. Yeah, just immediately. And like Tamara's just standing there.
You're right. How did she get there? I didn't even think of that.
She had to walk down to the dock to think about what happened. I don't know.
That's the thinking spot.
Yeah. And you know, she's just like, oh, this was all a misunderstanding, and Pacey says it's a crock, and I'm like, I love that line. I don't know. It's so
and then I wrote down Pacey goes full incel. Like,
yes. Yeah. But like he also kind of has her number, like, you know, in the way that he was like, you're just insecure about hitting 40, and it's like, I mean, I think there's probably some truth there.
I think there's like a grain of truth, and maybe it's not like 40 exactly, but like maybe it did feel nice to get attention from a younger man.
Yes, but you know, one of age would be better.
Yeah.
And so he says the line that makes me cackle every time. He says, "You blew it, lady, because I'm the best sex you'll never have." And I lose it every time.
I wrote it down word for word. It's like, buddy, you're a 15-year-old, and you... Oh, honey, we're gonna like set an egg timer.
So,
and I did notice, like, it would be nice if when I got angry, I became, like, really loquacious and articulate and smart. But I feel like my IQ just tanks when I get angry.
Me too.
I don't get smarter.
But then, like, you know, so we think maybe that's the end of it. But then Tamara says, like, oh, you're not a boy. And then she kisses him, which I'm like, no, he is very much a boy.
He's a boy. Yeah, just, girl, what? Girl, what? Girl, no. What, was it the Caesar haircut or the black eye that made you just lose control?
Yeah, the whole episode, you're like, oh, like, Pacey's just totally wrong about this whole situation. And this really probably was not helpful for teenage boys at the time. It's like, maybe she is into you.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so after they kiss, like, Tamara runs off, like, what have I done?
Yeah. Also, listeners, if you hear a mewing, that's my cat.
Aw.
She runs away, and Pacey's like, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Pacey's kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I felt like he was just like, I mean, I'm thrilled that I made out with her, but also, like, this woman, it seems to be a lot. But I'm sure he's just intrigued. It intrigues him more.
He's like, I'm glad she kissed me, but I feel, this feels like there will be rumblings of trouble in the future.
Yes. This is not the end of this.
Yeah.
after that, we are back in Dawson's bedroom.
Full
Uh,
circle.
yes, not Jen. Joey is there, and Dawson says that he thought that Joey looked pretty with the lipstick, but that's as far as those thoughts went. And
The line I wrote down was, I ignored it, but I thought it. Just like the saddest like consolation prize, like you're
you're
like,
just
I don't
killing
like
her.
you, but I see how someone could.
Yeah, and then she says like, "Oh, well, when you went to hold Jen's hand, it's not like I wanted you to hold my hand. I just didn't want you to hold hers." And it's like,
Yeah,
"Okay, I
yeah.
don't know if I believe that, but like
Yeah.
um I think it's just the scene kind of ties up the whole like things are changing and our relationship is changing, and like part of me wants it to change and part of me doesn't want it to change, and I don't know how to go about this relationship changing. Joey says like, we can't just tell each other anything anymore, and Dawson's like, of course we can, and she's like, how often do you walk your dog? Like, once again.
Yep.
And he doesn't answer her, and she like tearfully crawls out the window and starts running away, which I'm like, that's such a weird thing to like end the conversation on, is like, he wouldn't
Yeah.
tell me how often he masturbates. Now I must go run away and cry.
And the thing that like stuck out to me in that, like, maybe it's after she gets out the window, I feel like they lingered for a moment on Dawson as he looked at his framed picture of Steven Spielberg, as if this picture of Steven Spielberg was going to just like give him the answer. Also, you have a framed picture of Steven Spielberg.
I know. I'm like, are you sure you're not in love with him? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
like it
There's
didn't even look
something.
like a publicity headshot or anything.
Let's see. So after that, yeah, Joey's like running down to the dock to go row away while crying. Um, and Dawson like calls out to her from the window, and he says, normally in the morning with Katie Couric. And Joey's just like, what? And then she realizes that's when he likes to walk his dog.
Yeah.
And she laughs. I also wanted to bring up the fact that so Katie Couric is a news anchor. His mom is a news
Oh.
anchor. There's some weird stuff going on there, I think.
Yeah, there's something there. Ooh, I didn't even think. Yep.
Yeah. This is the first time I noticed it watching this like time around. I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute. Mom
Hold up.
vibes? And then so as Joey's rowing away, she sees a car outside of Dawson's house, and we see her mom standing next to the driver's side window, and she kisses her co-anchor before going into her house. And that's how the episode ends. They're like, yep,
Yep.
yep.
They hooking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dawson's, and not only do we know that's happening, but we know that Joey knows that that's happening. So now she has to like deal with that information.
Yes. Yeah. Poor Joey.
Girl, as you said, girl has been through it and is just going through it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was an eventful first episode.
I know. Yeah, a lot to cover. Yeah, so I kind of sprinkled in some fun facts throughout. Yeah, I just wanted to say that like Kevin Williamson had the creator of the show had been reached out to by a TV producer, Paul Stupin, who I think was present through most of this series, and wanted to meet him, and Kevin Williamson just kind of pitched this show on the fly. He said it's mostly based on his actual life, like he grew up in North Carolina, I think, and he kind of explains that all the characters represent some part of him or like some piece of his life or friends he had, growing up. So, I don't know, that'll come more into play later on as we meet more characters. Do we want to get to our final question of Whose creek was it this episode?
Yes, let's
Maybe
do
I
it.
should like go into why we want to have this question maybe
Yeah.
reoccur throughout the series is so as someone who's watched this show multiple times, you know, the show's called Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
And I think many people have made the observation while watching this show that it's more of an ensemble show. It's not just about Dawson. Over time, throughout certain seasons, and ultimately throughout the whole series, the focus, like who's the focus and like, you know, who's really going through life-changing events and who's evolving a lot, like that changes. It's not just Dawson, it's different characters throughout.
Oh
So
God, if it was just Dawson, I would jump off a cliff. I can't watch a show that's just Dawson.
yeah, a lot of people, like, I didn't really know this watching this show, but like apparently a lot of people do not like Dawson, or like they don't think he's a good enough character to be like the lead. And maybe that is true because over time the show really does become more of an ensemble cast, even though it's named Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, and that's a pretty common thing. Like Riverdale, nobody liked Archie, and I remember watching Teen Wolf, and the central character in that was kind of a blank slate of like protagonist, and so sometimes you need to have that sort of like cardboard stand-up protagonist that everything goes around. But
Yeah.
that is and that is why, because it's not always about Dawson, we want to ask, and I hope you'll start, whose creek was it? One more time.
Okay.
Whose creek was it?
This is not working remotely. This we'll figure it out.
Well, yeah, we'll work on it.
Honestly, I haven't even thought about this until just now. Who do I think whose creek was it this episode? Do you have one that jumps out? Yeah?
Yeah. And like I don't know that this is like necessarily what, I guess the way I took it was, for me, it was Joey's Creek. It was Joey's Creek because I feel like I empathized more with her. She was involved in a lot of direct conflict, and I think I just felt for her the most. Mm-hmm. So on this episode, it was Joey's Creek.
Okay. I think I'm going to agree with you there. If I didn't choose Joey, I would honestly maybe say, I don't know, maybe Jen would be my second, just because they kept alluding, like they were just like, there's this big secret.
Yeah, and they did a good job of like, her role is she's the new girl, the desirable new girl, but like they did a pretty good job of writing her into an actual character.
Yeah. Yeah. But I agree with you. I think it was Joey's Creek this episode.
I love this question for us.
All right. We got through the whole episode, and I was worried it was going to be like 2 hours.
No, I feel like this is good. You kept it moving, and I was just vibing, so thank you for that.